GF cheated on me while I was working, so I kicked her out of my house. Apologies in advance for the wall of texts. A little background on us. Jay and I went to high school together and were best friends. We relied on each other to blow off steam and just unload our problems to each other throughout our senior year. We went to separate colleges, but I ended up transferring to hers, and that's when we started dating. We've lived together for 3 years and gotten along great. We go on dates regularly, take trips together, and rely on each other for support with all of our problems. She's been wanting to get married for the past year or so, but I asked her to wait until she finishes grad school next year. I dropped out of college and have a stable job and financially support both of us. She contributes to meals and groceries now and then, but for the most part she works just to save money in case we need it for an emergency. My job is very time consuming. I work on call and am at different times of day, and sometimes I can be gone for a few days, but we always text or call each other while we're apart. Sometimes when I'm gone she'll go out with her girlfriends and have a few drinks. I don't stress it as I trusted her completely. She's never shown any signs of infidelity and had a friend who cheated on one of her other girlfriends, so she shunned the guy. She even hates cheaters on movies and TV. Well, this past Friday I went to work at 11 p.m. and Jay was just getting ready to go out with her friends. We kissed, said our I love yous, and went on about our business. The whole night I had a shaky feeling, so around 3 a.m. I text her saying I loved her and hope she's having a good night. Obviously no response, but that's not uncommon. She'll usually text in the morning when she wakes up. I got off work at 11 a.m. and was home about 12 p.m. As I was pulling in, she pulled in right behind me. When she got out she was wearing the same clothes as the night before and looked a mess. She kissed me on the cheek timidly and we walked inside. As soon as I closed the door she broke down in tears and was just holding onto my legs for dear life. She said her friends met a guy at the bar who started buying them shots. He was touching her shoulders and mainly paying attention to her, or so she says. She said she got my text, he saw it and grabbed her phone, telling her to ignore it and have fun. This pissed me off to no end, but I didn't say anything. I let her tell her stories. She said she made out with him and he drove her car back to his place and they had sex. I stood there quiet for what seemed like 10 minutes and started putting my work bags away and getting ready for a shower. I was emotionally gone. I felt absolutely nothing for her at that moment. I scared myself in my mind because my body went on autopilot and just started doing my normal home routine. She followed me like a puppy dog, asking if I was going to say anything. I asked her if she enjoyed it and she stood there shocked and asked if I even cared about what happened. I told her, why would it matter to me what you do? You're a single woman. You can do what you want. She started wailing and flooding tears, and it just didn't faze me. I was done. I told her I was going to take a shower and she needed to be gone when I got out. She tried stopping me from going in the bathroom and begged me to talk to her, but I wasn't having it. Well, she was gone when I got out. I didn't hear from her at all Saturday, but I heard from her mom, who was apologizing to me. She had told her mother everything that happened and apparently she hung up on her Ken daughter. She tried calling me over 20 times Saturday, but I was still just not there emotionally. I thought I had ended this strongly, completely over her instantly, but here I am today with nothing but her on my mind. Missing her and wanting her. I wanted to hear her voice, so I called her and we both cried over the phone. I want to take her back even though I know I shouldn't. It's just now starting to eat me apart inside and it sucks. I don't know what happened to the strong me that was just there, but now I'm a wreck. What am I supposed to do here? Try talk to her? Try rekindling this thing? I've always said I'd never take back a cheater, and she's always hated cheaters with a passion. Every time I think about it I despise her, but then I start longing for her. I'm just confused right now. Our girlfriend of 4 years cheated on me with a stranger and I thought I emotionally checked out, but now 2 days later I'm a wreck. Update: hey everyone, this definitely blew up more than I thought it would. It's been a long work night for me and I'll get around to reading all of your comments when I wake up. I also have 224 ducking texts to read. Her friends, her mom, my brother, and one of my best friends have been trying to contact me all night, thinking I've done something drastic. They all know my random work schedule, so I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I'll try and update you all later on when I've figured things out. Thank you all for the feedback and support. Update 2. First off, I'd like to thank you all for the comments and advice. It was a very interesting Tuesday to say the least. I barely slept after I got home from work, so I decided to read your replies and think about what I wanted to do before I started on the text messages. Second, the texts were stupid other than my family. I had 5 messages from my family members and the rest were from my ex, who we'll just call J, her friends/sorority sisters, and her mom. My boss also texted a few times to tell me my family was wondering if I was at work, and texted a few times to tell me I was over my data plan, but for the most part the masses of texts were due to J. Now on to the texts. J's best friend H was the main person texting me. She sent me multiple pictures of the night which included them all drinking, the guy with them, the guy with J, and the guy dancing, and them making out. According to H, she was the only one trying to stop J from going with this guy and denied taking the shots and drinks he brought. She claims that she didn't take action with J until they started dancing inappropriately with each other. She also claims that J wasn't insistent on staying around the guy, but each time she'd try and interfere the guy would just grab J and bring her back by his side and tell H that she was okay in his company. All of this sounded like bullshit to me because of the pictures she sent me first. In the picture of them making out outside, H was literally about 5 feet away from them. Why wouldn't she go grab J and take her home instead of capturing their moment for fond memories? This will all be relevant shortly. As for her other friends who were there, they all just apologized for not stopping her and letting her out of their sights. Most of them say they despise her and won't hang out with her or support her anymore, and they think I'm a good guy that doesn't deserve that treatment. Her mom was the same way. She was apologizing through texts, and after not responding for a while she started asking if I was having trouble coping. The fact that her mom said, "I can't believe my own daughter would do something like this to a man both of us, her parents, absolutely adore," meant a lot to me. It made me think that I do deserve better than this girl that I thought I knew. Then she started asking if I was alright and wondering if I was having dark thoughts towards myself. I called her today and she was happy to hear from me, wished me the best and asked if I needed any help getting J's things out of there, that she and her husband would come over. This last part will probably disappoint some of you, but I felt like I needed this to happen so I could gain some closure. I read J's text messages. She left voicemails, tweets, and snaps. Every one of them were apologetic and in a way kind of pathetic. I texted her telling her that I wanted to talk to her in person and she should meet me at my house. I didn't get a response, but about 20 minutes later there was a knock on my door. It was H and she wanted to talk to me about what happened. Before I could even get in a word, H was on the offensive. She started questioning my loyalty to J, saying, "If you loved her as much as you used to, this wouldn't have happened, and this is just a rough patch in a long relationship. Can't you get over it?" This girl who, over text, was trying to save J from ruining our relationship was now hounding me for not letting it go. I asked her where this was even coming from. She seemed to be defending me the night this all happened. All she said was J had been staying with her since I kicked her out, and J told H that she was missing something in her life and that our relationship was holding that back. H said she didn't hate me, but she wanted to know what I had done that changed her friend to be unfaithful. She said she hated seeing J act that way. I asked her how she managed to get a picture of them making out but couldn't stop them, and she said she wanted me to have proof and that she tried stopping them after she had that proof. This confused the shit out of me. I didn't know whether I could believe H or not, but I thanked her for coming to me and told her I'd be in touch. J finally texted back saying she was on the way over. This was around 6 tonight. When she got here she came in, sat down, looked at me and immediately started crying. I told her to stop, no more crying, J. I mean it. She finally settled down and I asked her to talk to me seriously. No crying, no apologizing, no worrying about my emotions, no worrying about our relationship. I asked her to just tell me what happened and why she let it happen. Don't tell me what she thinks I want to hear, tell me what she was thinking throughout the night. She said she was too drunk to stop herself from her inner thoughts. She found the guy to be incredibly attractive and him paying her the most attention compared to all of her other friends made him that much more attractive. She said she wasn't planning on doing anything with him, but the more physical he got with her the more she let herself go. She didn't think of our relationship, her friends, or anyone else in the bar. She said she was lost in this little drunken moment where she was the spotlight. He asked her if she needed someone to drive her car and she said yes. He asked her if she needed a place to stay and she said yes. At this point tears start flowing down her face again. She had sex with him and immediately left, drove around for hours and finally came home. She said she contemplated not telling me, had ultimately decided on not telling me about it. She said it was going to be her last romantic dream away from reality, but when she pulled in the driveway and saw me getting out of the car she couldn't hold it in anymore. I asked her what she hated about our relationship and she claimed nothing. She loved everything about us and me. She never wanted to hurt me or lose me, but she had been wrapped up in this thought of college flings before finally settling down. We started dating sophomore year and things just took off for us. She never got to have that sorority college girl experience where she makes mistakes and meets new people that make her their priority for the night. She said that she never acted on these thoughts before because she loved me, but there was something about this guy the other night plus the drinks that made her drift off into her dream world and let it all happen. She asked me if I had anything to say and I told her no. She asked me if now that she got that all off her chest did it make me feel any better and I said no. She tried to hug me but I pulled away. My emptiness was back again but I stayed and listened to her. She asked if she could stay in my life, if there was anything in the world that she could do to prove that she hates herself for what she did and she wished she never did it, but I told her no. I told her that I wasn't angry, for the most part I understood where she was coming from. We never had the college life of partying and sleeping around because we had each other. Sure, we went out and drank, but at the end of the night we always came home to each other. She asked if she could ever earn my trust back, whereas we could start building towards a new us. This actually made me mad. The duck is a new us. She ruined any shred of the us that there was, but I told her that I couldn't come to a decision and that I wouldn't be in contact with her for a long time if at all. She grabbed some more clothes and tried to kiss me as she left, but I turned away and walked to my room. I feel a whole lot better knowing that she told me what was going on with her mind that night. Knowing that it wasn't a relationship problem, so to speak, but a self-conflict with herself on what she wanted. I don't hate her, as a matter of fact I still love her and the fact she was so honest about what happened. I just don't have a single piece of trust left for her and don't think I ever will. Only time will tell what happens, but for now I think it's over, even though I told her I wasn't certain. I feel some sort of closure now and don't hurt quite as bad, but said that the woman I knew would let all we had go for a quick fantasy night. TLDR got back to everyone on all my texts, had a face-to-face with my ex, pretty sure everything is over with thanks to her honesty.